Why, hello there, conspiracy theorist. It is I, Caliber Hitter. This is my new approach. This is with the way I speak now. Because you see, I'm trying to attract liberals to these conspiracy theories, I'm trying to unite the left and the right to agree upon conspiracy theories like Rush Limbaugh faking his death, or Jim Morrison faking his death and taking the persona of Rush Limbaugh. So let's read this in my liberal voice. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, you all heard the news. Rush Limbaugh has dissented. So here's the thing, folks. I put out this information back in 2014. It has been about, 7 years? So, for whatever reason, this conspiracy theory has blown up. And it didn't blow up because Rush passed away. This has been blown out of proportion for quite some time now. I'll say the last year. I guess everybody's bored in lockdowns, COVID-19. But some interesting people are picking up on this. You have this Hollywood gossiper or whatever. He's like a well-known ex-lawyer or whatever that gossips online. And he wrote something interesting, which coincides with information. There was a guy by the name of Matt Quingley who used to put out some rather interesting information when it came to Alex Jones being Bill Hicks. And he put out an article one time, showcasing that Alex Jones took his identity from a mentally challenged kid. And excuse my language, a mentally retarded kid. So we're going to read in this article, this guy states the same thing. He is saying that these death fakers take their identities from other people maybe that have passed away, kidnapped and shipped to the UFO colony out there, down there in the ocean. No, I'm just joking. But this angle has been popping up left and right in recent years. Like I said, people looking into Alex Jones being Bill Hicks, they have put the pieces together or opinions that these individuals took their identities from real people that have maybe passed away, or their family sold them their docs. So let's read what this Hollywood Reporter guy had to say about Jim Morrison. He wrote, "It all started decades ago when an A-plus singer in an A-plus band grew burnt out and tired of his life. He was doing drugs and drinking heavily and not healthy. He knew he needed a change, but a very radical one. At the time, he was in a foreign country, so he bribed a few people and his death was announced, but this was fake. The singer, in a phony identity, adopted a gypsy lifestyle, traveling around the USA, not long after he befriended a well-to-do family in a Midwestern state. This family had a problem. Despite the prominence and success of many members, one of the current generation was neither do well, and one day, under the pressure of succeeding, he committed suicide. The patriarch of the family made a deal with the former singer. Having a loser son who committed suicide was not in the cards, so even though the singer was a little older and a couple inches shorter, the patriarch asked him to assume the role of his son, which he did. He and the son did have very similar facial features, slightly different accents, but similar tones to their voices as well. After this, the singer in the role of the son got interested in a career the son was pursuing in. For a number of years, he slogged in a partial anonymity until he achieved A-plus level success under his new identity. This was not a serious expression of who he was, but an identity that hordes of people could relate to. His recent death may expose all of this. Look at the singer's face and who he became and listen to their voices. Granted, it has deepened over age. So, some of the things he says here, I agree with. Some of the things I don't. I've obviously been researching this for, like I said, 7 years. And I do kind of believe that they're using the identities of other people that kind of look the same. But when I did research into WITSEC, which is the Witness Protection Program, these are the same exact methods that these people are using. One of the techniques that they use is, or techniques that they do is that they implant yearbook photos. They literally implant, let's say if you want to go back a few years, they literally implant evidence to, let's say if you want to look back into Alex Jones being a mentally handicapped kid, they plant pictures in, let's say, the local public school, high school, elementary school, etc. And this is a fact. If you look into the WITSEC program, that's what they do. I uploaded a video on this channel if you guys want to check it out. Obviously, I believe that some people are not happy with me because one of my sites, the caliberhitting.com site, which is basically a site where I just upload random stuff here and there, they have blacklisted a whole bunch of keywords directing traffic to my website. Like, wow, really? See, the only way that could happen is if somebody inside Google does it themselves. Because the only way that you could blacklist a URL on Google is by court order. But nobody has ever hit me with a court order to bring my URLs down. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if they want to suppress this information. I don't know if they want to block people from finding this information, because Jim Morrison, Rush Limbaugh, if you want to believe they're the same person, there's many more stories like that. Many more people taking other identities, and these people are so, I don't know what it is, they crave attention. They're narcissistic, and they were once famous and famous again under another identity. But going back to what this guy wrote, no, I don't believe that Jim Morrison took the aspirations and hobbies of whoever's identity he took. It was all a plan. Jim Morrison was raised in a military naval family, and my research points that these individuals that you see as talking heads, and especially on the right, are U.S. naval intelligence. I don't know if they are precisely U.S. naval intelligence, because U.S. naval intelligence is really one of the first intel agencies in American history. And somebody might correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure that the U.S. Navy had the first intel agency thing going on. And you might say that the CIA and them are fighting with each other. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say here is that you might consider the U.S. Navy the old guard of America. And you have the new guard with the CIA, whatever, intel agencies, and they're just going back and forth. Obviously, if you hear these guys talk, and I'm talking about people like Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh, if you heard them talk, they're completely the opposite of, let's say, an Anderson Cooper, who people say that he was once CIA, whatever, these leftist media organizations. But anyways, people could discuss that. I don't really care. I just like the fact that this conspiracy theory unites the left and the right. A whole bunch of people are interested in these sort of conspiracy theories. It sort of reminds me of stuff like Bigfoot, UFOs, and not one of those nasty conspiracy theories like that little event that happened in Connecticut. So yes, people might think it's crazy, people might think it's disgusting, but remember, these people that we're talking about are public figures and not just regular people that you see on the news and people are creating conspiracy theories about them. These are famous people or people that were famous at one point. So yeah, going back to the article, there was no autopsy of Jim Morrison. Many people at the time or years later, even his own bandmates, believe that he faked his own death. So then again, if you're not familiar with WITSEC, the Witness Protection Program, I'm not saying that these people went under the program, but it's very similar to what I think or believe happened to these individuals, the methods used. If you're not familiar with that, research it, search it in your favorite search engine, and, put the pieces together. So look at this tweet. This tweet came from a blue checkmark Twitter user, and he said, "I've stumbled upon a conspiracy theory that claims Jim Morrison of The Doors was a CIA agent who faked his death in 1971 and became conservative blowhard Rush Limbaugh." Rush Limbaugh appeared as Jeff Christie, by the way. Then he changed his name to Rush Limbaugh. So yeah, I'm going to spend some extra time away from the internet. By the way, I've been told that this has become a meme on TikTok and it's just like super viral everywhere. So anyways, I don't know. It just has blown out of proportion. If you're interested in this conspiracy theory, there's more. I do believe it's some sort of intel agency behind grooming these individuals since birth, infiltrating certain platforms. Then they get promoted into a higher rank. I don't know, it's just very interesting. If you ask me, this conspiracy theory goes on the line of UFOs. If aliens are real, people are interested in that sort of stuff. And I do believe work like this is going to normalize, if I don't believe in aliens, maybe I do believe in aliens. I do believe that there is life on other planets. But I do believe that conspiracy theories like this is going to normalize. Let's say if little green men suddenly show up, it's not going to, drive people crazy and insane. Because then again, with sci-fi, entertainment, people have been used to the idea of that happening. And seeing, reading, hearing other crazy sounding shit. So there you go. I just wanted to give you guys my opinions on what I thought about that article.